Hi, welcome to the TILA Teacher Guides. This is the first of a series of videos that have been produced under the TILA project, Telecollaboration for Intercultural Language Acquisition, which is funded by the European Commission as part of the Lifelong Learning Programme. On our website at www.tilaproject.eu and also in our YouTube TILA channel, you will be able to find a series of videos that cover a number of units with all the contents that we feel you need to be aware of in order to integrate telecollaboration in your language teaching classes. This first video is part of the first unit, Foreign Language Learning and Teaching in the 21st Century, and it is just an introduction to how technology is being used and what it can add to language teaching. This is our society, this is the context that we all work and live in, where technology is at the center. We're all exposed to it from a very early age. Technology is now part of our daily lives, not only in terms of our work lives, but also in terms of our personal activities. We are surrounded by these and many other tools, apps, etc. But when we talk about integrating technology in education, we must remember that we need to integrate it for a reason. Technology is not the objective. The objective is to make teaching more dynamic, flexible, personalized, and to facilitate more effective learning processes. And bearing this in mind, technology may help us achieve that goal, but it might not. Sometimes the good old methods are just as good. So we need to bear in mind this balance. We're not using technology for the sake of it. We're using technology when it really adds something to the learning and teaching experience. Pedagogy is still essential. The student is still at the center of everything. We must be aware of the student's needs and student's characteristics. The teacher is crucial in the process. The learning context, we must be aware of what the learning context is and to be able to adapt it and modify it for the benefit of our students. And obviously, we must continue to do research on learning processes and how we can improve what we do. So, what is telecollaboration? Telecollaboration is the integration of technology in the language teaching process for a reason, because we feel that it adds something to the learning experience. Just to give you a definition, telecollaboration is to use online communication tools for written and oral communication, interaction, and collaboration between internationally dispersed learners in parallel language classes. So this is what telecollaboration is, and the objective and the idea is to bring language learning to life and to really enable the students to use the languages that they're learning in a real context with real speakers, where that using that language is an absolute necessity for communication. And this is what TILA is about. TILA stands for Telecollaboration for Intercultural Language Acquisition. So, as you can see, the intercultural element of communication plays a central role in all this. When using telecollaboration, we are obviously developing and helping the students develop their digital literacies, and we must educate them in that regard as well. We must work on their etiquette. We must teach them how to communicate through technology when communication is so different to face-to-face communication, face-to-face interaction. And they must develop those digital literacies, those basic competencies that they must have in order to be able to have a successful communication and interaction with other people. And there's also decisions that we as teachers will have to make when we integrate technology in our language teaching classes, just as we do in our everyday teaching activity. We must remember that intercultural communication is at the center of everything. We cannot lose sight of that. We need to bear that in mind and to integrate it in our teaching, in our classes. We must make decisions. For example, We must decide whether we want our students to interact in a tandem constellation or in a lingua franca constellation. That is, whether we want them to interact with native speakers of the language that they're learning or with non-native speakers, students who are also learning that target language. We must make use of blended learning, so we must combine the use of technology with the use of the traditional classroom teaching, because as we were saying, that also has its benefits, and it's not all about technology. Flipped classroom is another concept that we're hearing quite a lot. And we must remember that the environment that we create for our students to learn must be engaging. So this is, in a nutshell, what we wanted to show you in this first unit. Feel free to navigate through the different units that we have prepared for you. And in this first topic, we will deal with some of the issues that have been presented on this last slide, particularly intercultural communication, tandem or lingua franca, and blended learning and flipped classroom. We hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.